What's up, guys? So I'm in a sleeper couch bus. We have these in India. Traveling to a different city to visit a friend, and yeah, basically, I want you guys to join me on the journey. Get a little bit of a authentic taste of some cool parts of India, some cool parts of the experience, and also I want to talk about things. We'll get back to in a little bit. Well, that did not go as planned. Uh, well, to be completely honest, I got super distracted on that trip. I had way too much fun and was just living in the moment, guys. I barely got to touch my camera and, I was exploring the city, trying out amazing food places, having amazing, incredible conversations, listening to some amazing music. And, some of these moments would have been perfect for the content I make. And, unfortunately, I was just living them instead of recording them, which I think says something good about the actual experience. But nonetheless, it's unfortunate that, you guys weren't able to join, but it's all right, right? That is how life is. But, that leads me back to what I want to talk about today, which is something that's been on my mind since I've gotten back. Do you guys realize, at least, as of when I'm recording this video, we're already 25% of the way through 2025? A quarter of the year has passed, gone, just like that. For those of you who watched that New Year's video that I had initially created, you probably remember how I talked about creating a vision for this year, setting intentions, rather than resolutions. And I want you to really reflect, where have you guys gotten with those intentions, the vision that you created? Are you aligned with the vision still? Has the vision itself changed? Are you moving towards it, or have you started moving away? You know, uh, are you ahead? Are you behind? Do you need to shift the vision? Think about that, because this quarter milestone, it's the perfect time to really celebrate the wins that we've gotten. Identify what's working, what isn't, make those course corrections before, too much time passes, and recommit to what matters the most, which is the vision that is taking you to where you actually want to get to, right? Like, let me just share where I'm at. The trip that I went to, that was amazing. Being around those people, experiencing those things, it was great. I mean, it really fed my soul in ways that I honestly needed tremendously. But the interesting thing is that before the trip, I was in groove with the business, right? Like, I was very much aligned with this vision that I had set for this year, which is to become a little bit financially independent. And, you know, I have other things. I'm keeping them to myself, for at least at the moment, but, some of them relating to this channel, in fact. And I was so deep into the routine and the minute details that I was just experimenting with the different inputs so that I could optimize the output, really giving all my energy to this, all my conscious energy, and feeding the business egregore of the vision that I had. And if you guys don't know what an egregore is basically like a living thought form created by conscious energy. For example, I guess, Dogecoin could be a egregore, right? Like, a bunch of people fed their conscious energy towards this idea and gave it life to the point where it started having value even in the material realm, right? So in the same way, I was feeding this vision of mine through constant programming and reprogramming and, bringing it into material reality. But, I stepped away, which is also healthy, isn't it? I mean, we all need breaks. And when I came back, something had shifted, and it's not a bad thing, but, I started being like, should I be making music? Should I travel? Should I just should I go to some ashram, become a yogi for some time and, just, You just, really create some new experiences. I'm in my 20s. I gotta, I have to live right now. I have to make some stories so that, later, years down the line, I can tell my grandkids how cool and amazing the adventurous life I led was. Because I just, got out of that nice adventure that I had just gone to have. And so I wanted to keep that momentum up suddenly, and my focus had been scattered. And, this brings me to what I think is one of the most important lessons that keeps coming back to me throughout this entire quarter. And that is the paradox of momentum, right? Momentum is without question one of the most powerful forces in our lives. It's the invisible current that either carries you forward or pulls you back. And, if you've ever studied physics, you know that an object in motion tends to stay in motion. And the same applies to our goals, our visions, and our growth. When you're building momentum, each action requires less energy than the last because you slowly start to flow and ideas start to come faster, the obstacles become easier to overcome, and the results obviously compound. And all of these things had started happening to me and had been happening to me over time as I was building the momentum towards this business egregore. But that's the thing, right? Like, this is the crucial part. The momentum is extremely, and by that I truly mean extremely fragile, especially at the early stages. Like, think about pushing a car, right? For those first few inches, you gotta really like, gotta put in the dumb, as they say in India. And, it requires everything you got. Well, once it starts rolling, I mean, like maintaining that momentum is very easy. And the same is true with our goals. Those first few weeks or months of building a new habit, maybe growing a business, creating art, it demands a lot from you. You got to change a lot of the mental grooves that have been formed in your mind. And if you step away too soon, you sometimes have to start all over again. And as the metaphor, demonstrated to us, that initial push is the hardest part. Imagine if, you're trying to push a car, you start pushing it, it moves a little bit and you stop, you're like, you gotta take a breather. Push it a little bit. I mean, it's gonna take a long freaking time before you're able to get the car where it needs to go, because rather than if you just, persevered for a while and got that momentum going, then, you take a break, maybe halfway through, but like you really push yourself initially so that there's some momentum built. And hmm, basically, what I realized after my trip was that all of these distractions, while they were beautiful, and they fed my soul, came at a time when the universe was really showing me some interesting opportunity. When doors have started opening to in life for me, and the seeds I've started to plant, maybe even a year ago, are really starting to sprout now. And universe is giving me, a new boss battle essentially. And that's definitely something I've learned in the last 2 years is when the universe gives you an opportunity, never ever treat it with hubris, because when you start getting opportunity and luck, when the universe starts, you start getting aligned with the universe, don't take it as, I'm unstoppable and this is just easy. It'll keep coming to me, because that's when the universe will punish you, because it'll give you this opportunity if you take it lightly, if you don't treat it seriously. And the thing is, it's the universe is giving you the opportunity precisely because you've been treating everything else seriously. So if you let hubris take a hold of you, if you become a little bit too overconfident, the universe will put you back in your place. And I speak from experience on that. So never treat an opportunity with hubris. And when the universe starts responding to your efforts, that's not the time to turn away. And that is precisely why, even though, these soul feeding activities really have reminded me what I'm doing this all for, I know that I have to follow through with this opportunity, because At the end of the day, I am building this business. I'm building everything for a reason. I'm building it for the freedom to travel, for the freedom to make music, to explore different sides of myself. And that is the ultimate vision, of course. But there's a timing element that's critical here. There's a difference between choosing choosing to step out of this arena, this boss battle after I've defeated the boss, versus turning away from the boss battle and being like, I'm just gonna go and do some of the side quests because they're more fun. Not that that's a side quest in my real life, just with the metaphor of a video game and a boss battle, right? So it's a very psychological thing too. Like if you leave before you've passed the test that life has put in front of you, you'll never know if it was fear that drove you away or actual authentic choice. And then that psychological impact is very important. It's the difference between, for example, I have friends who right now are very frustrated with their jobs and they want to leave. And, but they're also scared they might get fired. And that's the funny thing. They want to not, they want to leave the job anyways, but they don't want to be fired because there's a psychological impact that the outcome there has. If I say I quit, I quit, then it's like, feels great. Same thing. It's like they tell you you're fired. You're like, oh, like, oh, I got fired. So, it matters that you know that the decision you've made has been your own choice. So, I mean, it it gives you power. It gives you freedom. It tells you that your decision came from courage and not fear. Now, this also doesn't mean, don't take breaks. That's not the point here. My trip certainly wasn't a mistake. I mean, those moments of joy, connection, stepping out of my routine, they were essential. The key is to understand the difference between taking strategic breaks that recharge you while maintaining momentum versus completely derailing yourself. And the issue with my break to an extent became that I had started to derail myself and it's only been like a week. It's not the biggest deal ever at all. But I I'm getting back onto it, baby. And the scariest part is that if I didn't consciously realize what was happening, who knows how much longer this week long process would have extended to if I really got mentally distracted with this um having fun and chasing joy aspect of things. So maybe it's about taking the smaller breaks first. Maybe it's about getting used to this thing and practicing how to maintain momentum because you have to be intentional with how you step away lest you lose the momentum you're building. But the principle remains that respect the momentum you build and the universe will continue to honor the opportunities that it's giving to you, and you will continue to evolve. Simple as that. So, as you reflect upon this quarter milestone of 2025, I want to leave you with this thought. Take that leap, maintain that momentum, put in that work, and stay focused right now. Build towards that vision. Because when you feel, fully commit to the vision that you had set for yourself in January, something magical will happen. At the end of this year, when you're ready to maybe quit your job, take that leap, whatever that might mean for you, you will come to find that you have grown wings and you have developed capabilities you don't know, and you are soaring to great heights. When all you wanted to do was jump across the ravine, you will realize that you have wings that are helping you soar to greater heights than you thought were possible. And again, I speak about this from experience as well. So, yeah, I'd love to hear where you guys are right now in your 2025 journey. Drop a comment down below with your biggest win so far and whether how you're faring with regards to this vision that you've set for yourself. And Whether you want any advice, I hope the community can help you. I certainly will try to give any inputs anyone might want with regards to their anything with regards to their vision, whether that's, how do I build momentum? How should I figure out my vision? Ask anything down below. I would love to help you guys out. I mean, that's why I'm building this channel. So, yeah, I mean, if this video resonated with you, give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe, the usual drill. And, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. You are part of this, this vision I'm building. One of my things has been to post a video every week. And, yeah. Thank you for being a part of this journey. If you have been, check out my other videos. Give me any suggestions at all whatsoever. And don't forget to keep tuning in to get content similar to this. Peace out.